Airsoft is a hobby where, well, we make a lot of mistakes. And that's just kind of the process of being an airsoft enthusiast, is that as you build yourself up as a player, you make some mistakes or you have some regrets along the way. And I know for me personally, I have my fair share of regrets and mistakes. I think both of us, we have around 15 years of airsoft hobby experience.
Definitely around there. Like, we both have made our fair share of mistakes, and it's completely normal. Things that you wouldn't know unless you made the mistakes yourself. So hopefully we're going to be, you're going to be able to take something away from all the experiences we're going to be sharing with you.
Yeah, so whether you're a new airsoft player and you're kind of doing your research as to how you would like to approach the hobby that is airsoft, or maybe you're a more seasoned player who has been playing probably just as long as we have, and maybe you might be like, oh, I remember making those same mistakes. Either way, we hope that we can entertain you and hopefully inform you guys on how to build yourself up as an airsoft player. Okay, our first big airsoft mistake that probably a lot of us have made. What would it be, Isaias?
It would have to be wearing all black gear.
Oh,
solid
man.
black gear.
All black gear. Look at all this Gucci black gear.
I am sweating just by looking at this stuff right now. True, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong inherently with wearing black gear. And if you want to wear all black, again, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, they're initially attracted to the all black gear because, hey, let's face it looks intimidating.
It looks intimidating,
you
it looks
show,
cool.
Yeah, you know, you're either like a SWAT team guy
LA
or some airsoft, generic airsoft death trooper. And I think maybe it has to do a lot with like movies.
For me, it was
Maybe?
Shadow Company.
Shadow
from,
Company,
Call of
yeah,
Duty.
but they're not all wearing solid black.
Some of them it's mixed,
It's
a little mixed.
two-toned with like tan and black, which I
Mhm.
think looks absolutely killer. Black only really looks good on like a few, I guess, different loadouts, in my opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't really, at least in terms of plate carriers and chest
Yeah.
rig, it doesn't really seem to jive that well with multiple different types of camouflage patterns or even colors. I think you
Yeah.
can definitely two-tone it, but it's
Yeah.
very specific with what it looks
Yeah,
best with.
because I think black looks good with what? Black looks good with black,
Of
obviously.
course.
Yeah, and then I think like a black plate carrier, a black chest rig will look good with like civilian style clothing. So if you just want to show up in like a flannel or like just regular street clothes. But outside of that, I don't think it really pairs well with like camo patterns or like khaki or green. It just doesn't really work that well in my opinion. So for me, I think I haven't made this mistake. I've actually never bought all black gear before.
I have.
Yeah.
I have definitely made this
So
mistake
this is
before.
more of your mistake than my mistake.
So,
But-
the real reason why I
Yeah.
went with that, yes, like I said, was, again, I really wanted to look like one of those generic, like, death troopers.
Yeah.
The bad guys that you would
Yeah,
see
yeah.
on films.
We've all had our
We've all
airsoft
done
death
that.
trooper
We've,
phase.
we've
yeah.
all done that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And when I first started off, that is exactly what I was going for.
For me, though, personally, I bought a lot of Coyote Brown or tan gear. It fits a lot with different styles of loadouts.
Definitely
so,
a lot more versatile.
Yeah, so I've gone through a lot of different tan like chest rigs and plate carriers, and hey, like I can mix and match. I could wear the tan gear with my civilian clothes, still checks out. I could wear it with black clothing if I wanted to. Hey, I'm Shadow Company now.
You can
know,
wear it with your current Milsim
yeah,
kit,
yeah,
that would work.
Milsim kit, yeah, with almost any kind of camo. Like I could run that even with like Russian style camo, and it'll still work.
It'll work, it's a
yeah,
vibe.
It'll still work.
And now here I am.
Yeah,
like,
we have a
years
bunch
later.
of useless black gear you
We
can't
have a
even
bunch
use.
of useless black gear, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not saying that you shouldn't get black gear. Like,
Again, no.
Yeah, I have a set of black gear too.
Same.
Yeah,
I still
so-
do have some black gear, some
Yeah.
of the cam black gear, which I do
But
think
it's very
well.
specific. It's very
Mhm.
specific, and it's I think it's hard to take it to a lot more events. I think if you just only have a set of black gear. So I think our advice would just be to invest in something that's more like an earth tone color. Maybe you don't have to really commit to a camouflage pattern, but either you get something OD green or even tan. I think it works a lot better with multiple style loadouts, and you can wear the same piece of gear with a change of clothes, and it'll still keep you feeling fresh.
Absolutely. Speaking about black, next on the list,
The infamous getting black BBs.
this should be very familiar to you both. Now, for me personally, I've never invested in the black BB just because I never really cared. I always just went with the standard white, just because that's what everyone seems to be going with, and I haven't had any problems since. But why don't you tell us why this is a big regret?
How is this a good idea? First of all, who thought about this? Primary reason is you can't see where you're shooting at. I first started out with white BBs as per usual, and then I was like, you know what? Being stealthy is cool. And I thought, what if people won't be able to see which direction I'm shooting at? I think engagement distances that I was shooting people at with black BBs, they're seeing me anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter which direction I'm shooting from. Like that's
It's all for naught.
yeah, they're gonna see me anyways. So it didn't really do me any favors. And yeah, I would say other colors like tan. I think tan works okay. You could still kind of see it. I would say if you really wanted to be stealthy, maybe going with tan BBs is okay. But yeah, I mean, nothing beats a tried and true white BB. You know, you're able to see, you're able to lead your shots in better.
Exactly.
You know, you're like, if you're in a really tight spot, you can't really shoot from aiming down sight. You just need to kind of reflex shoot a little bit. It helps too. Black BBs are just going to be more expensive than white ones for some reason. And so, in my experience, I bought probably close to about 10,000 rounds of BBs. It's a lot of bottles of these small BBs.
It sounds expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. And then I just end up throwing them away. You know, like I buy 5,000 because I'm like, okay, well, like I typically buy a 5,000 round bag of white BBs, so I need 5,000 rounds of black BBs. So I'd buy 5,000 rounds of black BBs, way more expensive than the white ones, you know. Then I get through about 500 rounds of them. I'm like, this is terrible. Like I can't hit people. I don't know where my BBs are going. You know, so I would throw them away, buy more white BBs, and then somewhere down the line, because at home there are a couple of bottles of black BBs still left. Because I bought them again. Thinking, yes, this time things will be different. They were not different.
That is the definition of insanity. Yeah, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah, I don't really see the point in running black BBs. I will guarantee you right now, Isaias, there are probably 3 people in the comments right now going like, hey,
I can see my BBs just fine.
Yeah, like I swear by, you know, black BBs, and I'm like Solid Snake out there on the airsoft.
They never find me. I'm the stealthiest guy.
I'm the stealthiest dude out there.
Oh God!
I will guarantee you that there are going to be 3 people in comments. We will.
That's a very specific number. If it's 3, that's going to be hilarious.
Obviously, you do you. I'm not going to tell you how to play airsoft. You should enjoy your hobby how you want to enjoy it.
Exactly.
But we will laugh at you. Another big mistake. We're just here to just piss everyone off at this point.
I think we're just on like bailing all of our trauma.
A lot of controversial opinions here. But for me, the next big mistake is getting a paintball mask.
This is something you and I both share. This is a mistake I think pretty much most beginner players at some point or another have made. Now, granted, this is not necessarily inherently, I should say, a mistake, because again, some people do like the paintball mask and they are quite affordable. But for what we like to do, for how we like to play, this is a big mistake.
I don't know, man. If I were to do airsoft all over again, I would have not bought a paintball mask.
Same.
Yeah, like, how much did I pay for it? I paid like 40 bucks for a paintball mask.
40?
My biggest gripe when I was starting out in airsoft is, you know, like I didn't have enough money to buy an optic. So I'd be running my iron sights on my G&G Combat machine.
You couldn't see with this, huh?
You can't aim down the sights. No, you can't.
That's a very common problem for most players.
Yeah, even when I did have enough money to buy a red dot sight, you still can't aim down the sights.
Yeah,
it's too bulky. You can't get a proper cheek weld. Like, it doesn't really do any favors. And for the amount of times I get shot in the face, I don't think it was really worth it.
Not only that, too, granted, I'm sure someone in the comments is going to say, oh, I got it to work. One of the other problems that I noticed with these is that a lot of times it's very hard, near impossible to get these to work with a helmet as well.
Oh, yeah, 100%, because it has like the sun visor thing. A lot of these sun visors here, they don't come apart. If I were to go back in time and redo airsoft, I would probably get just a really good pair of goggles.
Something like this.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really good goggles out there that are for airsoft that work very well, and they don't have to break the bank.
No, you can get a pair of decent goggles like Arrows or Rage for less than $30.
Less than $30, or even like the ASG, like Strike.
Yeah, those are less than $20.
Yeah, it's around $20, which they do a fantastic job, and they're so much slimmer than this paintball mask. Plus, you do that, and then you pair that with
a nice mesh mask.
Yeah, a little mesh mask. It breathes way better. You're not trapping a ton of sweat on your face, and you could finally aim down your sights. I remember it was an absolute game changer for me when I moved to my first set of like lower face pro plus goggles, it was around $30-$35. So it's actually a little bit cheaper than getting a paintball mask like this. And it just does a job.
And even if it were more expensive, honestly, it would be worth the investment considering all the benefits you get with it. Like you said, being able to aim down sights properly, not being trapping as much heat, so you're not fogging anywhere near as much. There's just and of course, actually works way better with helmet setups too. So again, just too many pros to ignore.
There's gonna be another 3 people in the comments. They're gonna be like, "Yo, I love my starter paintball mask. I've been using it for 25 years or whatever."
You know how I used to cope wearing one of these when I first started playing? I used to pretend because again, I always used to love to pretend and immerse myself. I used to pretend that this was like the same helmet that Master Chief wore.
Oh yeah.
And I'd be like, "Oh hell yeah, put it on my
ODST helmet." Yeah, the Spartan helmet. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
cope harder, why don't you? Yeah. Listen, again, if you like running the paintball mask, you've been running for 50 years or whatever on the airsoft field, hey, we're not here to tell you how to enjoy your hobby. If that's what you enjoy doing, that's what helps you have fun on the airsoft field, by all means, go ahead and do it. doesn't mean we're not gonna laugh at you.
In today's airsoft market, it can be quite overwhelming trying to figure out what airsoft gun you need, which is why at Airsoft GI we proudly present the Mayo Gang MGC4. We have developed a line of airsoft guns directly using the input and feedback from the airsoft community, from airsofters of all walks of life, to not only develop an airsoft lineup that was going to perform fantastic, but also be incredibly accessible. If you want more information regarding the MGC4 and to see all the different variations we have available, make sure to head on over to airsoftgi.com. And if you were looking for an airsoft gun that was built by airsofters for airsofters and meant to dominate the airsoft fields, the MGC4 is the only clear answer.
The next big mistake on this list has got to be going with cheap airsoft guns, skipping out on quality and going for that super nice price. I don't know about you, but I've definitely made this mistake more than once.
Of course. This might fool you on camera. You know, this looks like a full-size, airsoft AK AEG, but I will guarantee you it's not. This is not even made out of polymer. This is all plastic.
It feels so much worse.
It's so light, dude. I could hold this up with 2 fingers, like this, no problem, right? It's so cheaply made. Most of these cost like roughly like right underneath $100.
Yeah, you can usually find like a low peg anywhere from like maybe the $60 to about the $90 price point typically.
Yeah, but even at that price point, I wouldn't recommend it, man. Like,
no.
For like $50 more, you can get like a legit AEG that can be upgraded. Oh yeah, these things cannot be upgraded. But most of these low power AEGs, you can't upgrade any of them because
no aftermarket support.
Yeah, because they have plastic gearboxes.
Same thing with the sidearms as well. Something like this, again, might fool you on camera, but there is no blowback. It's CO2 powered. It's fixed magazine as well.
I think a lot of people are more guilty about the sidearm.
Oh, you think so?
Because they will do their research. They will spend about $200 on their primary starting out. But they're like, but I also want a sidearm because sidearms are cool. And
sidearms are cool. They are indeed.
Yeah, they are cool. But they're like, but I don't want to spend $150 on like a good, gas blowback.
Oh, I think I've heard the argument before where it's like, why would I spend $150 on a sidearm when I can get another primary for that?
Exactly. It's like, well, because it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe, So I was also under that mentality, So like I was guilty of that. I would buy pistols that cost less than $100 and you can't use them. A lot of these really cheap pistols that are non-blowback, they shoot too hot.
That is another problem too. Sometimes
they shoot way too hot. Yeah. So I think what I ended up doing is I bought a bunch of like springers and I just like had springers just like in like holsters just for the look, just for like the vibe. Oh look, I'm carrying a sidearm.
Save your money, get something good. If anything, if you are trying to keep a budget in mind, make sure to check out our website because there's a ton of stuff that's discounted.
Yeah. A rule of thumb, $120. If you spend $120 on a sidearm, you're probably gonna get something that you can use for a while.
That's a good goal.
There's a lot of high cappers out there that cost around $110, $120 that are actually usable. This guy, it's not going to last you one day at an airsoft field. It's just, there's too much going, like I said, too much going on at the airsoft field. You're not going to be able to take care of this. Yeah, but I guess that's like our least controversial point.
Yeah, I think most people would agree with this. Like, make sure not to skimp out when it comes to your primary or even your secondary.
Okay, now we're back to pissing everyone off. So what the next topic is going to be
using anything other than an M4 to start off with.
Or just uncommon airsoft guns.
This is something that I do on a regular basis.
Yes. But I think
not the wisest decision.
Yeah, not the best idea, honestly. Again, we're gonna piss everyone off. There's gonna be 3 people in the comments. Another 3 people in the comments saying
I started off with this. I'm doing great. I killed them. Listen here. Listen. There's nothing wrong necessarily with trying to invest in a different platform. That's totally okay.
I would say that like if you were to get just a more standard airsoft gun, like it might be boring. It might not be like the dream that you were looking for, but just the way that it performs, you're gonna like playing airsoft, and you have that to at least fall back to before you invest in something more exotic, I guess you would say, platform-wise. And I picked out this Tommy gun for a very specific reason. For some reason, like for like from like 2008 to like 2013 maybe.
Sure.
Like there's just like people just like wanted a Tommy gun.
There was a lot of World War II enthusiasts out there.
No, not even for like they'll show up in like their chest rig or the plate carrier deal where like it's always a dude's wearing ATACs. Why is it always a dude's wearing ATACs? I don't get it, you know? And they show up with like a wooden Tommy gun like this. Is it a vibe?
Yes.
Personally, for me, no. I don't think it's a vibe. No, I hard disagree. Yeah, I know for a period of time there were people running LED, was it LED 5s or whatever? Yeah, LED 5s for a while. And I think there's a reason why no one runs them anymore.
No, there's a very good reason for it because they're not the best.
Yeah,
they're not good.
Because they suck.
They do suck. They do suck. And
Yes.
I knew this going into it.
It's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but something like this, how boring.
Yes.
How boring.
How mayonnaise.
Your standard M4. There's a reason why we created the Mayo gang. All right. There's a reason why we all love. Cisco loves the M4. There's a reason why I love the M4 so much. It just works very well.
Without the mayonnaise, the sandwich is incomplete.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you can rely on this to always work. My personal advice to anyone starting out is to start out with a more well-known platform like the M4 or the AK. You know, getting something like this as your first airsoft gun, in my opinion, it's not the best introduction to the hobby.
I would never recommend it, honestly, especially for first-time players. Actually, when I first started playing airsoft, that was actually something that I had personal experience with this because I was so insistent on being different. I was literally either between going with a FAMAS or going with an MP5. But again, I wouldn't have that problem.
You're gonna get outranged by them.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have had this problem if I just started off with some AR-15. If I didn't just like insist on being different or unique.
Well, I guess your parents have never taught you this, but there's nothing wrong with being special, Isaias. But when you get too special, you end up in the short bus. Start out with an M4, start out with an AK, something like that. And then maybe as your second or your third gun, eventually then you want to get to, you can start exploring more into the collector pieces.
Go with the, again, it's like buying a car. Get something that you know is going to work, something reliable, get you from point A to point B. And then after you have that secured, later on,
then you get the fun car.
And you get the fun car. You get your project car that you've always wanted.
But this is airsoft, so it's way cheaper than buying another car. And we got one last bonus mistake.
This is something I think we're all guilty of, especially when we were starting off with. It's going to be getting cheap, low quality optics or accessories.
Oh yeah.
I remember being a kid and looking at all the various types of optics, accessories, daydreaming about how I can build and customize my airsoft gun, and then realizing I didn't have a lot of money for that because I spent it all on the airsoft gun. So I went for something cheaper like this.
Why did I buy this? This stuff looks ugly anyway.
Dude, how many, like seriously, how much Picatinny is too much Picatinny? Why do I need Picatinny on my freaking optic?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We all did it.
Yeah, and also a lot of these like low quality optics, look how low this is.
Pretty bad.
Try aiming on sights with this with a paintball mask. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
No matter how hard you try.
Yeah, so me personally, what I tell people when they're on the market, when they're out there looking for an airsoft optic, specifically like a red dot sight, I usually tell them spend at least $50. It sounds like a lot of money because you know there's a lot of tempting options out there. Like you could buy these things for as low as like $20, $30 sometimes.
Honestly, like you can even find like a decent optic for like at the 35 mark. Because again, a lot of accessories we sell are discounted.
Yeah,
for $35, that's a really, really good price for a lot of decent quality optics.
But I'm just saying MSRP. You know, obviously we run a lot of sales on accessories and stuff because we want people to kit out their airsoft guns. So yeah, sometimes you can find them cheaper on our website, but I'm saying the full price if you pay for
$40 minimum,
around $40, $50. I would argue $50. Yeah, I mean you could find red dot sights that like look very similar. You know, you could find, let's say like this like little micro red dot style. This is a Novus precision optic right here, right? You can find like a lookalike of this for a lot cheaper, and yeah, they will work for a while, you know, but they're just not, because they're so cheap, they're not as well built as something like, let's say, like this Novus. At the end of the day, just think about it as if you buy, let's say you buy like a $30 optic, you're not gonna buy two of these. So it's gonna die once.
More expensive in the long run.
Yeah, and then you have to buy another one because you can't fix it. Yeah, and then that's like what, you're down $60. You buy $50 optic, it'll still run. It'll still be running. Scopes are going to be a bit more expensive, so
basically anything with magnification.
Yeah, I would recommend around $70 plus for a magnified scope, in my opinion. Other red dot sights that cost more, you know, you could put them on risers, you could put different mounts on them, right? You could attach kill flashes if you wanted to. There's stuff that you could do with your optics. So some of them come with multiple colors, so you could have like a red dot or a green dot.
Or you can change the reticule itself, so if you want to go from maybe a crosshairs to a dot.
Yeah. I fallen for the mistake of like, oh, you know, I have $30 right now. Maybe I'll just get this as like a placeholder, you know, and then before I get the optic that I really want. Well, I just costed myself $30 for something that I'm not going to use.
Yeah.
And I wish that I, back in the day, checked the Airsoft GI website more frequently because, you know, a lot of these accessories, they go on sale pretty often.
Yeah, very,
So,
very often.
Yeah, I would have saved myself a lot more money had I done that, but instead I bought a cheap one in store, walked, you know, drove back home, and then I was like, oh man, I'm so broke. I'm $30 down. And then I got mad the next time I played Airsoft because I was like, oh, I can't even use this damn thing.
And at the end of the day, you can't be mad at anyone but yourself.
Man, look at all our costly mistakes we have made over the years.
This is like rubbing salt on the wound.
Well, you know, we're just hoping that you guys can maybe take something away from this.
Learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, hey, I mean, for our, I think we each probably have roughly around 15 years of Airsoft, I guess, like hobby experience. You know, these are just some of the things that we notice, you know, like it's just not very efficient, I guess, or not the best wise choices, you know.
And these are very easy mistakes that a lot of newer players or trappings that newer players can fall into.
Yeah.
And hopefully this video will shed some light on this and will encourage you to do a little more research and not repeat the same things that we did.
Yeah, and for all the 3 people down in the comments below that loved everything that we considered mistakes, hey, keep on doing you.
Keep doing you,
yeah,
man.
if you enjoy that, if that's part of the hobby that you enjoy, you know, if you like running the black gear and the paintball mask and the Tommy gun and
The weird guns.
shooting black BBs and wearing your $20 red dot, by all means, hey, Airsoft's a hobby. We can't tell you how to enjoy it. If that's how you enjoy it, more power to you, man. You know, but again, doesn't mean we won't laugh at you. But yeah, please let us know in the comments, what were your Airsoft mistakes down in the comments below. Let us know what your experiences were, because I know we have a lot of other very seasoned Airsoft enthusiasts that like to watch your content as well. Please do a lot of the newer players a favor and just let them know, give them some pointers on how to set up your Airsoft hobby to where you could enjoy it for the long term.
If you like the video that we just did right now, make sure to leave a like on this video. Make sure that you hit that bell icon and you're subscribed so you can get notified every time we drop new content on the channel.
That's right. And if you want to help keep the camera rolling and keep these lights on, please make sure to support us directly by going to airsoftgi.com for all your Airsoft needs, where you can not only find the Airsoft gear that is good for you, but if you want to make some of these mistakes that we did, we got you covered there too. We got weird exotic guns. We got all black gear. We got paintball masks. We got black BBs. We got it all, baby. And again, doing so will directly support the channel. And also, it just pays to check out the Airsoft GI website regularly, because we are regularly discounting thousands of items. You can really find some really good killer deals right now on the website.
And absolutely, and not only that, but any $20 or greater order you place, it's an automatic entry into our weekly shopping spree giveaway where you can win up to $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you can buy the whole lot of our mistakes
At this
right
point,
here.
you
Yeah,
can buy, is
for
that even considered a
$1,000 giveaway?
mistake? You know?
Yeah. But anyways, my name is Boaz.
My name's Isaias.
And we'll catch you next time, yo gang.
Take it easy, guys.